Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about 50 Cent responding to Joe Budden saying he'll sue him, I need you to hit the like button. If you clicked on this video to hear about Jay-Z getting Tony BUZBEE law license taken, I need you to hit the like button. Now, Spit Squad, before we talk about Joe Budden and 50 Cent, let's talk about Jay-Z and Tony BUZBEE. Now, we all know that Tony BUZBEE filed a lawsuit that Jay-Z allegedly did some things with a young lady. That young lady went on an interview, and everything in the interview was wrong and inconsistent. So Jay-Z persisted to get this out of court. The other thing Jay-Z said is that Tony BUZBEE deliberately dropped that lawsuit on the day of Beyonce and Blue Ivy release for The Lion King Mufasa, which probably hurt the sales. But more than that, even past the sales, man, you hurt this man's reputation. So basically, that case ended up getting dropped by Tony BUZBEE, and Tony BUZBEE basically said that it was dropped with prejudice and no one will ever be able to file that case again with that young lady. Now, maybe that young lady was telling some truth. I'm not saying she was telling any truth about Jay-Z or Diddy. I'm saying maybe that young lady was there. Maybe something did happen, and maybe she lied and said, hey, this was Jay-Z and Diddy, even though it could have been somebody from their entourage, or it could have been just a random person that don't know them at all, or she could have been there. She saw everybody going with the money grab, and she said, you know what? I can throw Jay-Z in there too, because Jay-Z was actually, I saw him at this party this night. Or maybe she looked online and Googled, was Jay-Z there? It's so many different ways this could have went out. But anyway, Tony BUZBEE tried to do something with his law license in New York, and it's actually been denied, and he cannot practice law in New York. And also what he had to do is anywhere else he's practicing law, he has to show his client that his law has been stripped. I mean, not his law. His license had been stripped from him. Now, I think he still has his license, but I just think he can't practice in New York from the way that I read the motion. Now, let's jump to the 50 Cent and Joe Budden situation. The 50 Cent and Joe Budden situation is crazy. It's crazy for two reasons. I told y'all that 50 Cent was going to either react two ways to this. He was just going to ignore it, or he was going to go off. And I'm going to read y'all what 50 Cent said, because 50 Cent is not playing with Joe Budden at this point. Now, 50 Cent said, so that's the plan. You're going to shoot me, Joe? Ha, ha, ha. I think you are mistaking me for somebody else. I'm going to get face to face with you so you can tell me about the therapy I need. Now, I told y'all Joe was going to respond to this. And to be honest, I think Joe responded respectfully. But I think Joe probably didn't want to respond. But I think Joe felt like he had to respond because of the way he always go off on other people when things happen. And I also spoke about how, like, Joe will have some crazy energy for somebody, but then a little later he'll have a lot better energy and won't be acting crazy or talking crazy. So this is just something that Joe go through every once in a while. Now, when 50 Cent say he want to get face to face with him, this is what y'all have to understand. When y'all in the streets, or when y'all on the internet interacting with people from the streets, or when y'all just on the internet and y'all interacting with somebody who upset with you, when they say they want to meet face to face and talk, they not trying to meet you face to face and talk. They trying to meet face to face to put hands on you. They trying to meet face to face to check your temperature, and their intentions is to come there, and the first thing you say that they don't like, they ready to smack you, put hands on you. So I just want y'all to know, man, meet face to face do not mean what y'all think it mean. I know a lot of y'all think y'all know what's going on. I know a lot of y'all think, hey, this is going to be fine. We'll get it together. No, bro. It don't mean what you think it means. Whatever you think it means, it don't mean that you're going to definitely get hands put on you when you meet up with somebody and you talking about all of this different stuff. So don't be trying to meet face to face, okay? Don't go out here trying to meet face to face. Now, I'm interested to see how Joe Budden responds to this. I'm interested to see if Joe Budden go behind the scenes. Now, the two things we got to understand is that they both have money. And one thing I always say, If you got $5 million, you can live the lifestyle of a person that's $10 million. You just got to plan it out. But the difference is a person with $10 million. When we talking about beef and war and security, the person with $10 million have more money at their disposal to basically throw away or have a crash out or whatever it may be. And then another thing you got to understand is that once Joe Budden say F you, the power universe almost say F you. And then who else? Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder definitely gonna say F you. So we gotta, and Uncle Murder, his name is Uncle Murder. Now I'm not saying he murdered nobody, but he definitely went to jail for shooting somebody who almost died. The guy snitched on him because he thought he was on his deathbed, but the guy recovered. Murder ended up doing like 10 years in prison. But anyway, past that, man, I'm interested to see how this turns out for Joe Budden. I'm interested to see how 50 Cent handled this moving forward. I would like to think that both of them are too rich for anything to become of this, but I think we seeing all these different lawsuits and things that's going on, and I think really what 50 Cent want to call Joe Budden is a snitch. I think when he look at Joe Budden have a lot of street guys around him. Joe Budden come from that cloth, even though every chance Joe Budden he says he's not a street nigga. He lived his rap career. I don't want to say his whole rap career, but if you listen to some of his earlier raps, he was doing that gun talk, put a gun in your face, get up on you, beat you up, do all this and that. And let's not be confused. I'm not saying that Joe Budden don't get busy, because Joe Budden will definitely fight. We've heard about him fighting. We've heard about him tightening people up. We've heard about him beating people up when he out and about. And him and 50 Cent both got a street team. So from my perspective of things, I hope that things get settled behind the scene, and I hope that it don't turn physical, because it can get ugly. Yeah, that's it, man. I just hope it don't turn into nothing else, but it stays right where it's at, because both of them are multi-million-dollar guys. Both of them have multi-million-dollar brands. Both of them are doing multi-million-dollar things. And I want to see both of them stay multi-millionaires, man. And on top of that, man, I got to keep it honest when I speak on anybody I speak on, but I'm a huge fan of both of them, man. I'm a huge fan of what 50 Cent do with movies and what he do with the Power Universe. And 50 Cent, when he came out, it was like one of the most impactful things in my life at the time when 50 Cent and G Unit came out. That was one of the things I was attached to. And then when we look at when Joe Budden started podcasting, that was around the time when I first started knowing what podcasting was and listening to podcasts. It was Joe Budden. Now, I was listening to the Breakfast Club before that, but that wasn't considered a podcast. That was only considered like a radio show. They didn't present it like that. So when we look at Joe Budden is the pod father, and 50 Cent would be the street rap father. And 50 Cent changed the whole landscape of music and put it back to gangster. And that's just how it is for me. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.